welcome to Disney's Polynesian Towers Resort. This is Disney's newest resort and we are so excited to be staying here. We are just, oh, it is beautiful, and we are actually here in the summertime, so it is very fitting because it is so warm outside and it has that, you know, Hawaiian feel to it. It is just so gorgeous here. And if you've seen the Polynesian has been here for a really long time, but they just added on this tower resort to have more DVC rooms here, more selections, and they are just gorgeous. So wanted to dive in, wanted to show you guys what a deluxe studio would look like at the Disney Polynesian Tower. So if you are staying here, you do have access to the monorail to the Magic Kingdom. You also have access to the boats, or you could just walk over to Magic Kingdom. It is so nice being in close proximity there, but you also have the ability to walk over to the Grand Floridian if you want, which is amazing. So just so many different ways you could kind of get around here and do different things. And then also if you want to go to Epcot, they do have the monorail where you can go ahead, get on the monorail here, and then get onto the TTC there and head on over to Epcot. So many options here. It is just such a gorgeous resort as well, and you could just hang out here your whole time and be happy. Before we get into that room tour, wanted to introduce myself. My name is Emily, and I love sharing all about Disney and going to Disney with my little family. We go a lot, and we always do different room tours. We do vlogs of our trips. So if you're interested in that content, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button so that way you can see when all these trip vlogs go live, which is gonna be so exciting. And also if you like room tours, because I love doing these room tours. So without further ado, let's get into this one. All right, so we are in room 8613, and like I said, this is our deluxe studio that we have for a family of 3. So coming in here, we do not have a park view, unfortunately. We do only have the view of the parking lot, but that is okay because this room is absolutely gorgeous. So coming to the right here, this is where we are keeping our stroller right now. This is actually the perfect spot because it is right by the door for whenever we head out to the parks, when we go to different places, we can go ahead, roll that baby out and be ready to go right here. So nice little cubby here. We also have our owner's locker, which is sitting here, so that's a great place to put it. So that way it's out of the way. So turning over here, this is where the bathroom is, and we do have this nice large barn door that just slides for some privacy. If you want to keep it darker in here, you can go ahead and do that and hide the light here, but it is just absolutely gorgeous in here. I love this bathroom. I walked in here and it was like, oh my goodness, this bathroom is just so pretty. So absolutely love it. So coming here, this is where our vanity is. It is so pretty. I love the mirrors. I love the backsplash. It is so cool. I love like the different designs of the mirrors. I haven't seen that. I think that that is so much fun. And you can see from the counter space, we do have tons of it. So if you have your makeup, your hair stuff, you have plenty of space for that. And we also have just our single sink here. But like I said, plenty of space so someone could get ready. Someone could be, you know, brushing their teeth, whatever they need to do, they could go ahead and do that and have plenty of light here. We do have our light up makeup mirror. Love these. I always use this whenever I get ready to go to the parks. So it's perfect that we have that there. And then of course we have some washcloths and some tissues for your needs. Then we have some towels, some hand towels here. And then under here, we do have shelves for extra storage if you need to put some of your stuff in. We have some bath towels if we need them. And then back there, you can see that we do have Disney's hair dryer that they provide us. So that's good that they have that. Please leave those here. Those are Disney's. So that way the next guest can use them. So turning around here, we do have this gorgeous shower. This thing is huge. Let me open the door here and just show you. It is so big. You can have a party in here. It is so pretty. I love it. And then you have the rainfall shower head, which is gorgeous in there. And we do have the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash that Disney provides. And they just have those, you know, stayed on the wall there. So then that way they can just refill those and they don't have to do the individual shampoos and stuff and bring there. And then we do have the clothesline here for if you are going to the pool, the splash pad, you can go ahead and hang up your swimsuits in here. And then right next to the shower here, this is where our water room is. So we do have our toilet in here. And what's really nice, there's also a nice little towel rack there. They have this door. Look at how nice that is. That's for privacy for the water room. So that way, if you're going to the bathroom and somebody else is showering, you can have your privacy there. And we have hooks, tons of hooks to hang your towels and different things if you need to. So coming out of the bathroom, we do have a nice little closet in here that does light up. It has the lights in here, which is so nice. So we have hangers in here if you need to hang any of your dresses, different things, your shirts, you could go ahead and do that. We do have an ironing board right here stowed away, and then we have our little luggage rack. And we also have our little laundry basket, so if you need to do laundry, you are able to do that for free here. You can go ahead, since it's DVC, and you can go down to the laundry room and go ahead and do your laundry. And then up top here, we have an extra pillow, extra blanket, and then we have our iron for our ironing board. And right here, we do have our full length mirror, so that way you can do your outfit checks before you go to the parks, making sure you're looking good, maybe before you go to dinner. If you wanna go ahead and use this, you totally can. So coming out here to the right, we do have this nice little bench with some storage underneath. This is so nice. I'm just putting like my duffel bag right there. So really nice that they have like this nice spot. And then they just have some artwork up here as well. Very Moana themed. I'm thinking of Ohana, the restaurant. So coming over here to the left, this is where our kitchenette is. And I absolutely love it. I think that this is just so cool that Disney did this with this resort, because it just makes it feel like you almost have like a 1-bedroom, even though it is like a studio deluxe. I love it. So we have plenty of stuff in here. If you look up here, we have our toaster, and then we also have way up top there, we have our ice bucket. So we'll have to fill that up for our waters to stay nice and cool in the summer heat. And then here we have a couple of plates. So if we need to use microwave, we can go ahead and use those plates, use those bowls. So love that they have those. And then up here, just some storage. So if you want to put some stuff up here, you can definitely do that. Utilize that storage, maybe hide some things from the kiddos. And then down below, we do have the microwave, which is really nice to use. So if you need to heat up your leftovers, you can go ahead and do that. And then in here, we do have our cups, and we have our mugs for our coffee, and then just more shelves up there. And down below, we do have our Keurig machine, we have our nice coffee pot, and we have all of our coffee and teas and our sweeteners, whatever you need. So it is good that we have this, and that way if you just wanna make something before you go to the park, if you wanna have it, you know, out in the balcony, totally do that. It is so nice. And then here we have our dishwashing stuff. So we have our little dish soap here, and then we have also our towel and little scrubbers for our nice sink that we have here, and then some paper towels that Disney has provided. And you can see I have just some of my stuff sitting here. This is stuff that we brought, some groceries, some snacks, different things. And then down here we do have our dishwasher. So it's so nice that we have one of these in here, and it is just, it's so cute and little. I love it. So if you wanna go ahead and do those dishes, you can go ahead, throw them in there. And down here we do have some extra supplies. We have just a nice rack to like dry some of those dishes. We have a extra thing of paper towels and also some dish soap, different stuff if we would need it. And then up in this drawer, we do have our silverware. We have our wine opener, which is really good. So things you might need if you are utilizing your kitchenette. And in here, we do have our trash cans. So we have our trash bags in here ready to go. And down here, this is where our, I believe this is a mini fridge. It does not have the sticker on there saying that it does not heat, you know, to the dairy temperature. So I do believe that this is our mini fridge. Don't quote me on it. I don't think it's a beverage cooler. We'll see. So anyways, moving forward, we have our thermostat here. And then over here, look at this, look how pretty that is. I believe that that is Montanui or Tafiti. I'm not sure, but it's some type of, you know, little village. Love it. It is so pretty. And then this is actually a Murphy bed, so I can insert some footage of me pulling this down, setting it up. But if you wanted to have an extra bed, if you have kiddos where you want them to sleep, you can go ahead and pull that down. Or you can just leave it up like we are going to do and set up my son's slumber pod. So I'll insert some footage of that kind of going in here as well, because I think that's just the perfect place for a slumber pod, just having it right there, right next to us. But if you don't have a slumber pod, don't want to use that Murphy bed, you have a couch. So if you just want to kick your feet up, relax, you can just do that right on your couch here, so comfortable, and then just go ahead, relax, watch some TV, read a book. And then turning around here, we do have kind of like our little eating area. So cute. It's like a nice little booth. I love like how pretty the table is and just nice. And the booth is like so cute. I love it. And then here we do have some charging ports with Well, I love the fact that they did this because there's so many things I'm already thinking that I'm gonna charge, set them right up top here. But we do have all of those outlets, so that way we are able to charge all of our electronics. And then here, of course, we have our beautiful resort TV, and it says, "Welcome Dixon family." I love the fact that it says that on every resort, and they do the little animations that go across. So I'm obsessed all the time with the Disney Resort TV. Love it. But here we do have our massive dresser storage space. This is great. Love that there is tons of space in these drawers. Look how big these are. So we can definitely share these, set up, put our stuff in here and unpack. It is just lovely that we were able to do that. And there's 3 of them there. So plenty of space for you to unpack. And going over here, we do have some shelves and some cute little artwork. There is Moana. She is sailing. I love it. And her big seashell. That is so cool that they have that there. And then just some shelves. And then also we have this little lamp. Love that. So if you're doing some work, if you're just need, some extra light, you can go ahead and use that. And then there are some charging ports on there as well if you need to charge some things. And we have our Hey Disney here, which is great. Love the fact that they have those. And we have our nice little bench here. Love that little kind of cute bench. I don't know. My son always finds those and plays with them. So interesting. And then turning around here, this is where our bed is. This is a queen size bed. So it is big enough to share with somebody. So me and my husband will be sleeping, unfortunately, on a queen size bed, not a king size bed. But that's okay. We will just cuddle up at night, I guess. So you can see here that we do have some lamps, which are super cute. We do have some reading lights here. I love these. So that way, if you want to read at night, you can have that and just have a little bit of light. And then we do have a little shelf here and our little Bibles there. And then we do have, I like the fact that there's just regular outlets there. That's so cool. You don't see that anymore. So it's really nice that you can go ahead, set up your phone to charge, do whatever, and have that there. And then same thing on this side, we have our little phone, our resort phone. So if you need to call housekeeping, bell services to bring something up, they can totally do that. Then we have our outlets here as well. So same setup. So that way, you guys aren't fighting over one side of the room. I do love the fact that there's those lights on the back of the bed. That is so cool. I really like that. I just love the theming of this room. It's so pretty. Then of course, if you have seen any of my room tours, I love the fact that Disney has been doing this so that way you can shove all of your luggage under there and not have to worry about it, and it is completely out of the way. And then out here, we do have our balcony. Like I said, not very much of a view for us. We are looking at the parking lot out here. But I do have to say, these balconies are massive. This thing is huge. Look at all the space that we have just to sit here and just relax. And I mean, we can look out, see the construction that's going on, which is, I guess, kind of cool. And then we do have the golf course there. So much fun. Just so nice to be able to look out and see everything. Well, that is it for this room tour. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you are interested in staying at the Polynesian Village or if you're interested in staying at the Polynesian Towers. It is so gorgeous here. I have always wanted to stay in the Polynesian Village area. I just think it's so much fun. I just think it's so cool, but beautiful at the same time. So we are loving our time here and just so excited to be here. So like I said, I would love if you would stick around and watch those vlogs, subscribe to my channel if you want to see whenever they go live. They're going to go live very soon, probably during this, but if you guys could give me a thumbs up as well, that would be much appreciated. So until next room tour, until next vlog, bye!